Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm gonna kick it off with a little office outfit of the day. I'm wearing this long blue dress. It goes all the way up. I have a button down long sleeve with this sweater vest over it, and I'm honestly loving this look today. I love skirts and dresses. It's seriously 10 out of 10 comfort. Also, really quick before I head in, I want to show you guys these headphones that were sent to me. Look how cool these are, you guys. So I'm gonna use these as my official new office headphones to connect to my work laptop with if I have a meeting to take at my desk. I'll have them linked in the description below if you guys want to get a pair for yourself. And I really like how these are the kind of headphones that don't stick into your ear. So if I do have a lot of meetings that day at work, this will not be irritating me because they sit above your ear, like on top of it, like that. So it doesn't really go in your ear. So I feel like these are a lot more comfortable to wear. It also comes with a charger. My little baby, your paws are wet because I just took you outside. So right here, I'm doing a little at-home workout, nothing fancy. You guys know that I like to go to the gym and do my lifting and cardio, and then I like to incorporate some mat workouts at home. In the beginning, I was doing sliders from a tabletop hold, and the tabletop hold is an exercise that you would not expect to be so impactful and hard. The tabletop hold is such a sneaky full body move. Like, it targets your deep core muscles, the ones that wrap around your spine like a natural weight belt, and it is so important for core stability, like injury prevention. It also targets your obliques, hip flexors, glutes, quads, shoulders, even your upper back. If you guys have not been doing these tabletop holds, it's when you stack your shoulders over your hands and bring your knees closer to your chest and you just hover there. Everything is on when you're doing this, all the muscles. So definitely incorporate this at the end of the day, the morning, into your workouts. Just try holding this tabletop hold. You will be shocked at how many muscles it's working. And also on the topic of full body exercises, the push-up. I love those. You guys always see me incorporating those to my at-home workouts. They've honestly become one of my favorite exercises to do. Just work so many muscles. So whether I'm having a rest day from lifting or I just want to get a little movement in at home, these types of workouts are my favorite to do. You just roll the mat out and you get to it. Okay, so believe it or not, this is an office outfit of the day, you guys. It's just this t-shirt, baggy jeans, and some Nike sneakers. It was just Memorial Day weekend. I went to Virginia Beach with Arches and Coco. It was so much fun. If you've never taken your dogs to the ocean and it's something that you can do, you should definitely do it. Okay, you guys, before I wrap up this video, I'm gonna talk about something that nobody asked me to talk about, which is Orangetheory fitness coaches and high turnover rate. Like, why does this happen? What are our thoughts? So I'm gonna get into it, and if you guys like this, then stick around. If not, I'll see you in the next one. So the first thing I want to say is I don't think that the coaches are paid enough. I also don't know the financial back end of everything in a sense of like what certain people need to be making in order for the whole thing to run and people to make a profit, you know what I mean? But essentially coaches are usually paid for just 1 hour of the class. So that doesn't include coming beforehand and setting up, staying after to talk to members. And sometimes I hear that coaches are paid on like a sliding scale in a sense where it depends on how many people are actually in attendance of that class. So based on how many people are in there, they will get a certain amount of money. So less people equal less money. Imagine showing up at 4:30 in the morning to coach a class and you only get paid like $12. I'm not sure if all of the studios are set up to pay their coaches that way, but honestly that pressure kind of adds up fast, especially if this is not just something you're doing for fun. I know someone who coaches and has a full-time job, so they just do like 4:30, 5 a.m. type classes and then they go work their full-time job. So it doesn't really matter how much they get paid that hour. Whereas there's other coaches that like this is their full-time job. They might be a fitness instructor on the side at other gyms, but it really matters how much they get paid for an hour. It might even like mess with your self-esteem. Like if people aren't coming to your class, it's like, oh my gosh, do they not like me? These coaches are running around, demonstrating the exercises, checking people's form and correcting it, keeping the energy up, learning members' names and actively calling out members by their names in the class. And on top of this, they need to act like the class that they're coaching is the first class that they're coaching for the entire day, even if it's like the 5th class that they've coached in a row. Like, they are expected to be on from the second they step in that studio, and that kind of energy that you have to keep up with can be something that'll like burn you out. But even more than the physical exhaustion, I would say there's a mental pressure that comes with this whole gig as well, because being an Orangetheory coach, you need to embody high energy. So there is like a lot of rules, especially in the way that you need to like act and carry yourself. So I could see how that could be like exhausting. And even if they really love coaching, I feel like it can start to feel hard to stick around when they realize that there's really not much of a next step to take from being an Orangetheory coach, aside from moving up to like maybe an assistant studio manager and coaching, or being a head coach, things like that. But there's probably other people competing for that as well, and there's really only limited positions to be like a head coach. Most studios have one head coach, and that head coach sometimes is the head coach of multiple other studios as well. So if you look at it that way, if there's like one head coach for 3 studios, then it's even harder to become a head coach, because there's not even just one head coach per studio. So let's be real, even if you do get promoted, it's probably to a assistant studio manager or a head coach. But essentially, I feel like a lot of coaches start to realize that they could probably make a lot more money just doing personal training, or even like starting their own business, and then they leave. It's a job that requires a lot of likability too. So you can't just show up and do your job and not worry about people not liking you, especially if you're a coach, because people just won't come to your class, and then you just won't make money. And then if you're not bringing in big sized class numbers, you're going to get quietly pushed out, because they don't have that many classes on the schedule to begin with, so they can't afford to have their classes not being filled up because people don't like a coach. So for a coach who's just trying to do what they love, that can just be a lot at times, and they probably will leave. And while we're at it, let's talk about the hours, which I have heard are very brutal. Like, coaches will have to wake up at 3:45 in the morning and be there to teach a 5 a.m. class, and then they'll be scheduled again that same day to come back and coach like a 6 p.m. class. Or I've heard of people being scheduled to coach like 3 night classes, including closing up the studio, and then the following day they're scheduled to come in and open the studio and teach the first class. They probably get home at like 9 or 10 p.m. and then they have to get back up at like 3:45 in the morning. So that lifestyle can definitely get old fast. Once again, I don't know if this happens at all the studios. I would like to think that it doesn't. But back to what I was saying, if you're trying to have any type of work-life balance, that's just really gonna get annoying over time. And when you're that exhausted physically and mentally, it's really hard to have to bring the energy and be on all the time. So that part just doesn't add up to me, like not giving coaches enough sleep in between their sessions and then expecting them to have like high energy. The math just doesn't math. And what makes all of this a lot worse is, depending on the studio, most coaches don't even get benefits, like health benefits or 401ks, things like that from this type of job. Especially, like, it might be their full-time job and they still don't have those things, but also there might be studios that do offer that. I think it varies per studio. Most Orangetheories are a franchise, so they're not required to offer their employees health benefits, a retirement plan, paid time off, any of that stuff. So over time, I just could see someone wanting to go a different route. And I honestly think it's a little wild that they don't do that. I guess maybe because it's a franchise, it's just not something that they can afford. But with Orangetheory being as big as it is, you'd think they'd have like some sort of funding to supplement that. If it's their full-time job and they don't even make a consistent, stable pay because it depends on how many people show up to their class, and then they need to pay health benefits, like if you pay that out of pocket, it is expensive. But get ready for this. This is the part that most people don't even see. They are expected to do so much outside of class, outside of just teaching. There is so much expected from them. Social media, selling heart rate monitors, selling packages, answering questions for members, overall just promoting Orangetheory fitness on a daily basis, trying to get leads in. It's like a lot of unpaid extras that are expected from these coaches. And a lot of times sales associates, it's like being a coach and a brand ambassador and a salesperson, and they're just not even getting paid for all of that. And even though these studios are individually owned, there is still a ton of pressure from corporate, and that pressure trickles down onto the staff that is actually working on the floor. There are pressures to hit survey goals, ratings, numbers, you name it. And honestly, all that pressure gets dumped on the coaches. So instead of just focusing on, you know, helping people with their fitness, they have so many other things going on in their mind and need to be a lot more calculated about everything. And overall, that just sounds like so exhausting. Like, instead of being able to just worry about helping people feel good and move their bodies, they have to worry about their feedback score. But, you know, I guess if you're a good coach, that good feedback will just come with it. Another thing I want to touch on is Orangetheory coaches are expected to wear Orangetheory Fitness branded items, but they have to purchase them themselves. I think some studios might give them like a free pair of leggings or a top here or there, but they have to purchase their own stuff, I think. And I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, from the outside, I feel like being an Orangetheory Fitness coach really looks like a dream job. Like, I used to think being an Orangetheory Fitness coach was a dream job, but compared to working like a 9-to-5 job, especially with me right now, I'm hybrid. 3 days a week I work from home, 2 days a week I go into the office. It's not that glamorous, whereas an Orangetheory job can look very glamorous, but underneath it all, is it really what somebody wants for their full life? You know, that's really on them. So underneath it all, it's a lot. I'm not saying that the coaches don't love what they do and that it's not a cool job. It definitely is. It just depends on your circumstances financially, if that's the kind of job that you want. There's nothing against it, and there's nothing not livable about the pay. I'm not like trying to say anything negative about being an Orangetheory Fitness coach at all. I am simply just trying to share my hot takes as to why I think that there may tend to be a high turnover rate. Like, you don't see Orangetheory coaches that have been there for like 20 years. Unless you have, you know what I mean? But anyways, as always, no hate to Orangetheory. You know that I like it. I did it for many years, and I'll definitely eventually like get back into it. It's just not like lining up with what I want to do right now, or maybe it'll happen soon. I don't really know. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.